long as you have AIDS.
He's got whatever disease he's got, whatever he's got going on here.
I got something wrong.
I very good. I mean, I have had.
Hey, folks, welcome to the show. Week 8, boys, going by fast. We've had a crazy week last week. Injuries, IRs. I mean, I know my team is devastated with the loss of Arian Foster, and I mean, just keeps on going. Jamal Charles, a lot. Had both on the same team.
So did I.
Yep. And
in another league.
It's hard. It's been hard, but you know, you just kind of got to bounce back some way or another and try to find a way to be competitive. But I mean,
That's a true testament of a fantasy football coach.
Exactly.
How do you react?
Right.
I mean, I've been dealing with it since Des Bryant went down, first game of the season, so part of it.
Yeah, and then these so-called experts out there is talking about picking up Christian Michael. Oh, yes, what'd Rowdy go do? I picked him up every leg. How many carries he get? 3.
Yeah.
He had one run for 18 yards, though. One run was 18 yards.
Who does he play for?
Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Same team Greg Hardy plays for.
Okay,
You know, Greg Hardy, he's not anything to do with abusing women or nothing like that. You know,
He's a good fella.
he's a great fella.
He's good. Outstanding.
I wouldn't mind him watching my kids.
Exactly.
Probably straighten them out.
Oh yeah, he would. All right.
All right. Well, I tell you what. Let's talk about something here. Who's the player that you trade for now? Y'all just blur it out every how you want to do it. Just give me some guy that you would trade for now.
I'm gonna go with Eddie Lacy. You know, he hadn't done anything so far this season. You know, he's got the ankle problem and had the big week last week. But after the bye week, I'm thinking Eddie Lacy's gonna be a little bit healthier, and they got a very favorable schedule coming up once they get past the Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers. They're playing some of the bottom rush defenses in the league, so it's getting colder up there. I expect Eddie Lacy to bounce back and
Comparable to what he did last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I like Lamar Miller. Started off.
I didn't really ask you yet, but you go ahead and go if you want
Well,
to.
I knew. I mean, I got ESPN. I knew where you were coming with it, you know. So
That's the Panther grouse. You just got Panther jersey on tonight.
I knew. You know, I like Lamar Miller. He started off kind of actually really slow, but the last 2 weeks he's definitely stepped it up. And the past week, my God, I mean, what he had 45 points, I think.
Yep.
In the first half that he played.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Dolphins are starting to pick it up. They got a new coach, starting to get it together.
New coach, new fire, man.
All we need a little bit of Campbell soup.
That's right. And I think Lamar Miller's somebody you better watch out for.
Randy, are you a Carolina Panther fan or a Dolphin fan?
I'm like radio. Both. I want both pieces of pie.
Hey, we heard your Panther growl. Can you give us your Dolphin roar?
Dolphins don't make a roar.
What do they make? Let's hear it.
That's good, man. Hey, what do you say on yours, man? What do you got there for your who's the player that you'd trade for now?
I think I'd have to go Joint Bell. I'm thinking Joint Bell's going to be a player that could come out because the Detroit Lions are averaging only 3.4 yards per carry.
Nobody else is doing it for him.
Nobody else is doing it for him. Joint's healthy right now. He's ready to go. Theo's more of the pass catching back where, you know, Joint's the main bell cow back. Of course, they're saying it, you know, the bell cow back. He's going to be the bell cow back. Of course, like I said a while ago, they said the thing about Christian Mike. What'd that get us? Nowhere.
Right.
But that's who I'd trade for.
I hear you.
How about you?
Man, if I had to come up with one right now, I'd probably say Brandon LaFell. You know, he obviously was on, I guess, the pup list all the way up until week 8. And his first game back, he dropped like 6 to 8 targets to come to him, I think. Or maybe it was 8 to 10 targets, I don't know. He dropped a bunch of passes. But I think Tom Brady's not going to not go to him with the ball. I think he understands that he is a little bit rusty. This is kind of his first game back for the season, first time he's been able to actually work and play in camp and everything else. So I think that going on from this point further, he's going to be a good asset to a really good Patriots team.
Yep. What about you, Lightning?
I'm going to go with Blake Bortles. He's putting up better numbers or comparable numbers to Rivers and better numbers than Peyton Manning. He's got a good receiver in Allen Robinson. You might could even get him off the waivers or free agency, but
And
Hearns,
Hearns,
yeah, Hearns and
touchdown
Julius
reception.
Thomas.
yeah, he's putting up like 260 yards a game, averaging a couple touchdowns a game. And they're all, well, not always, they're pretty decent this year, but a lot of times they're playing from behind, which is only going to help him out fantasy-wise. So I picked him up. I've been starting
Yeah,
him
he's
with
got a
Peyton
hot
Manning.
girlfriend.
You know, not to mention, for some of the players that had bye weeks, some of the quarterbacks that had bye weeks up until this point, Blake Bortles is 9 times out of 10 available on the bench to replace him with for that weekend. And a lot of these guys are replacing him with, he's been able to get more points, if not, or the same, if not more points than their actual starting quarterback was from weeks prior. So it's hard to go back after you go with Blake.
Yeah.
He probably wasn't even drafted in most leagues, and now he's putting up, comparable or better numbers than a lot of the quarterbacks that we're taking.
Right.
All right, well, who's the player you can buy low at right now that you can't trade at a high price? Somebody, that's just has not done anything. Mediocre. Who do you think would fill in that void right there?
Someone that you basically
That
you spend a lot of money on, but you can't.
You can't do anything with him right now.
I can't go with anybody but Peyton Manning.
Well, that's a very good one right there.
It's unfortunate.
Golly, man. I in my fantasy career, I've probably been playing fantasy football for 15, 16 years.
Well, about when you started walking, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Peyton Manning has been a fantasy stud every single year until this year. And I've got him in 2 leagues, and he's killing me.
I called it last year.
And what do?
You did. Yeah.
You can't do anything with him. Nobody wants him. So what do you do?
What do you think about there, Cosby?
I got a couple guys on my list. It's real hard for me. There's a bunch of people that are underperforming this year. I could say Jeremy Hill. He hasn't done anything. He's been splitting snaps all year. But I'll just go with Deshaun Jackson. He's had the hamstring all year. When he comes back, he's going to be a force to reckon with. They can't run the ball in Washington with any of the backs they got. Kirk Cousins just had a huge game.
Football babies.
Other than Pierre Garcon, there's no one else to throw it to really. So and Jordan Reed, so I'll go with Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah. What about you, White Lightning?
I'm going to pass it on to somebody else. I ain't got a lot of information on this subject.
Wow. Come unprepared. I'll go.
Okay.
I think at this point, I'm about to say Garrett Blunt. I think especially this week is kind of what hit home for me. I know the Jets got good running defense. The problem is, Blunt put up 20-some points the week prior to that. You would imagine he would get something better than negative yards on the entire game. I know he only rushed the ball, I think, 3 or 4 times. And when Tom Brady is your rushing leader, your rushing game has struggled. And with Deion Lewis being out for that game, you would think that he would, took it upon himself. Unfortunately, I did buy him low, and definitely couldn't sell him at a high price at this point.
I tell you what, I haven't learned a whole lot in my fantasy career, but one thing I have learned is anytime you have a running back that plays for New England Patriots, you're taking a chance. You don't ever know. They could have 40 carries one game, and they might even touch the ball in it. Bill Belichick is...
Well, too, and what you said about running backs. Look at the running backs that we took in our first rounds this year.
Yeah.
They got hurt. Look at the wide receivers that got hurt. None. It's about the point now where I'm taking a wide receiver the first round.
Right.
Instead of taking a running back.
Yeah.
Because, you lose your first round pick.
Well, you got somebody, getting 6 to 8 catches a game versus 30, 35, 25 to 30 touches. Obviously, the more times you touch the ball, the more opportunity you got to get hurt.
I agree.
Well, speaking about that, what about a rookie or a player that somebody has just surprised the fantasy land this year? Somebody that you think that has come out of nowhere and just lit it up?
Honestly, there ain't one person in this room that can sit here and say that they just knew this was going to happen. There probably ain't many professional fantasy players out there that can look at it and say, knew this was going to happen. But Andy Dalton is putting on a fantasy clinic for 95% of the quarterbacks out there. His rating, the points he's putting up every week, I think personally, to him, it's one of my biggest surprises for this year.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Lightning?
I'll say Allen Robinson. He's in his second year. Spoke about Bortles a minute ago, but Robinson's averaging like 100 yards a game, touchdown a game. So I mean, if he keeps it up, he'll be on pace to be one of the elite receivers this year. I know every time I've played against him, or in the few leagues that I'm in, he kills me every week. So
How about you, Law?
I'm gonna go with Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
I know he missed the first 4 games, I think. But the last few weeks, he's just gotten better and better and better. And then last week, 19 touches for 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. He catches passes. I think he's gonna turn into a fantasy stud.
I agree with you. How about you, Cosby?
We didn't say Devontae Freeman, did we?
No, no.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna go with Devontae Freeman. He's not a rookie. It's his second year. He didn't get a lot of touches last year. They had Steven Jackson. I don't know why they didn't give the man the ball last year.
They're probably wishing they would have now.
Yeah, and this year they went with Tevin Coleman to begin the season, and Devontae Freeman has been nothing but the best running back in fantasy football this year.
He's studded for sure.
Yep. So that's gonna be mine.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let Pawpaw Baby pick mine for me. Come here, Pawpaw Baby. Who we gonna pick? Good choice. Pawpaw Baby says Amari Cooper. How many rookie wide receivers come out there and do what he's done? Can you think of one? I can think of one.
Yeah, about one goes to
Exactly.
mind.
I think that boy's gonna be a stud.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good.
To play on the team he's got, a young quarterback like he's got, yeah, he's had a good year so far.
Glad I got him.
Yeah, I got him in one leg myself too. All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you have a great week, and we'll be back at you again next week. Anybody got anything else they want to add before we close?
Have a happy Halloween.
Yeah, be safe.
And happy birthday to me. Thank you.
Today's your birthday?
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow. Do we need to sing?
we need to sing.
All right.
Bring it in right
Bring
here.
it in. Bring
right
it
here.
into the dog.
Bring
And we
it
got to
in.
have the bark too.
Hey, bring it in here. Hey,
All right.
boys, happy birthday on 2. Happy birthday on 2. 1, 2, happy birthday!